I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love, I know I'll be loved. I've got all my love to give. I will survive. Hey, hey. Man, I love that song. Welcome to Without a Doubt, the podcast, where we explore the transformative journey of breaking cycles and embracing our truest self. I'm Mad, a cycle breaker, a creative, and a sprinkle of reality. If they ever told you to be quiet, sit down, blend in, but you couldn't, this podcast is for you. I'm so happy you're here. In this lifetime, we will undoubtedly encounter the death of a loved one, or even multiple. We'll see things in life we wish we could unsee, live in uncertainty with fear, bad thoughts, and terror, all of that living rent-free. How the span of our life goes with a mix of intense highs and these very deep lows. Most of the times, we are victims of situations, but that doesn't mean that we have to hang on to this title. Let's just say you've been diagnosed with cancer. You could live in the pity of that, or you can move on and try your best to live your life the best that you can despite the circumstances. I am not a cancer survivor, nor have I ever been diagnosed. So I'm not coming from any sort of storytelling here. Does it mean you deserve cancer? Fuck no. But it does mean that you can survive it. The amount of hope you can spread, the more positivity versus the anger and victimizing of yourself can help someone else more than you probably even know. It can prove to them that they aren't alone and they too can get through. You can be a beacon of light. I also think about the people who lose their children, their spouses, or any kind of other death early on in their life or a death of someone young. That trauma I have also endured. I lost my dad in my 20s, and so many people are instantly so sorry to hear that my dad died in a car fire. The pity just swallows me whole some days when people want to use that. I could be a victim of my dad passing away in a car fire. But the reality is I have survived my dad. I'm here to tell his story, the good parts, the bad parts. I'm here as someone who has been able to witness the best and worst parts of him, and I survived him. I'm not a victim of his death. And I think this is where we move into the mindset of victim versus survivor. I am who I am because of the life that I was dealt, and I am here to share and drop the noise. A victim mentality is when somebody consistently sees themselves as the victim of circumstances, other people, or just life in general, when there isn't even clear evidence to support that view. This mindset can lead most people to just feel powerless, blame others for their problems, and they'll actually start avoiding taking responsibility for their own actions and choices. Here's a few signs of a victim mentality. They're constantly blaming, always blaming these external factors, other people, personal problems, whatever, misfortunes come their way. They feel powerless, believing they have no control over anything, their outcomes, even when they actually do. They live in self-pity, repeatedly feeling sorry for themselves, seeking sympathy from others without even looking for a solution. A lot of times these are people that are avoiding responsibility, rejecting their personal responsibility, and instead attributing challenges to forces beyond their control. And I think also resisting change, being unwilling to adapt, make any kind of positive change because change is seen as too difficult or just unfair. Sometimes our childhood trauma wells up as an adult and it overflows into our relationships, but you can do something about your emotions and your feelings as an adult. Having the capacity to make the changes, like mentioned above, is how you can get out of this victim mentality. Because let's be real, like Mel Robbins says all the time, no one is coming to save you. I learned that long ago, so much so that I struggle to ask for help. Well, I have been better, getting therapy and all of that jazz. But sometimes even me saying, no one helps me, no one checks in on me, I am too living in this victim mindset. I am a survivor. I do need to check on myself, but I also need to let someone know, hey, you could check in on me every once in a while. We can survive the mindset that we don't deserve help or no one is willing. We are actually creating a puddle just to waddle in. Now, this isn't saying that you are never a victim. Like, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you can survive this victim era. You can outlive it. You can blossom into someone who has survived. How do you do it? You start living with the survivor mindset, adopting the mentality where you focus on resilience, empowerment, growth, positivity, the silver linings, no matter what challenges come your way. It's about recognizing your inner strength, finding ways to move forward, and using adversity as a catalyst for personal development. Having a survivor mindset is also knowing you have the tools to overcome the adversity and to continue to move forward, even when things are so hard. It's not about denying the pain or pretending everything is fine. It's not about smiling through it, but rather it's about choosing to find the strength to live and grow and in spite of the challenges. Sometimes this even means having the silver lining mindset, like I mentioned before, being positive, the optimistic, and being able to just self-reflect to better move within your survivor journey. I say this often, but I really do mean it. I am a sprinkle of reality, and you click this episode because you know how hard it is to be the survivor. You broke these cycles, you survived things you didn't think. You chose to be the survivor, where you didn't choose to be the victim. You want the answers on how to get out, be free, and move with grace in your victim journey. But I promise you, being the survivor is crossing the ribbon at the 5K and knowing you have done it. Being the survivor also doesn't mean you're not able to be tempted. You are more inept to handle what makes you feel like a victim. You can survive, and you will, and you're without a doubt a badass. After all, badasses always come walking out of the fire. You got this. XOXO, your girl Mad. Hey, and by the way, if you love this podcast, let me remind you that you sharing this is one of the greatest ways to help my podcast just grow. If you don't already follow this, hit the follow button, give it a rating, do something with this that can help this go from where I am now to somewhere greater. You have the ability to help me be a bigger podcaster. I love you for being here, and you can always find me on YouTube, Instagram, or anywhere you listen to your podcasts. See you around and catch you next time. Bye.